This is everything I noticed in the first 2 levels of bonelab, along with questions I've had for a while, including some Boneworks references. Notice, I most likely missed a few things in the levels, and I know that there's probably more. First off, why did Monogon add guns to MythOS? Why was there intent to kill? Or was it just for sport? MythOS was made for families as a game to play, and it's meant to be family friendly. And what if someone went rogue with them? Ford. That seems to be bad company move for the future of technology. Number 2, death. In Boneworks, we see Ford talk about Resurrection Field and how if you die you come back, and how it can't be good for your psyche. And if you play both games in the headset, you know that the headset connects to your mind, and connects your mind to the void via the Boneworks engine. And whenever you get hit in game, you hear a groan. So, do you feel pain? Is this good for your mind, knowing what dying feels like? Do you feel it? This is somewhat answered by Ford when he wrote, "If you die in MythOS, you come back. That can't be good for your psyche." It seems that yes, you can. Otherwise, what would make it different from other games? Other games you can't feel or be fully immersed in, but why add dying in the first place? And that brings us to number 3. Why did they add dying to MythOS? Keep in mind that you can resurrect in MythOS as a sort of way to start from where you died instead of completely starting over. Let's think why it's a good thing first off. It can immerse you more in the game. It can prevent you from going somewhere you shouldn't go. It can help with security purposes, even if that's murdering a man to make sure nobody finds out about the void. Or at least what the void can do. Now, why is it bad? First off, most people don't want to die. And assuming that you feel pain, that's got to be a traumatic experience for the player. Second, if this game is meant for people to explore endless virtual spaces, why have a player get killed while they feel it? That makes me think I would want to stop playing the game. And what if someone tries to take their own life in game? They would know what it feels like, and maybe that would work them up to doing it IRL. The next ones are extremely short, so just to let you know. So, number 4, SLZ exists in this reality, and it seems though as they are the Fantasyland devs. So why are they in Duckseed? Why are they running from Monogon and moving to the bonelab hub? We'll answer that one later. And why did they go to the void? Are they the mysterious character IXIA? And Jimmy doesn't know where they are, so they can't be in Lava Gang. So, where are they? And this brings us lastly to number 5. How did Saber Lake cover up Arthur Ford's death? And was Ford involved with SLZ in that universe? And finally, on to what I noticed in bonelab. All the clocks in bonelab hub and descent are all set to 3:14. Which is the time that Arthur Ford stopped the clock in the first release of Boneworks, making me think that either SLZ got lazy and didn't change the textures, or someone did it again. Also, Monogon talks about finding Fantasyland offices abandoned and the software flushed, but they were changing Fantasyland to be practically a modern land. And remodeling it, why would they care for all the old software to be flushed? We also know that bonelab is in 1997, after the game's release, but everything in the game is dated to 1996, and that's a year before the release of MythOS. So why is that? But Fantasyland finished development in 1997. Why are objects dated in 1996? I believe that they were in contact with Ford or agreed with Ford, and didn't want to change them because they were corrupted with void energy, the very thing they needed to escape to the void. How did they get the void energy? When Ford first made it to the void started leaking into MythOS, and Fantasyland has void leaks in it in bonelab, making me think that they did a mini clock tower stop, or stopping that part of MythOS. We know that it's on lockdown, so that could help them go through it further. That or some melon belly got released that was found by Knowles spreading it around after Arthur Ford's incident. Also, some of the books in Fantasyland or the bonelab hub are labeled Project 4. Does that ring a bell? Project 4 is bonelab, and bonelab is a subpart of MythOS, so they might have been messing with bonelab's code or void energy. We see in bonelab that they have direct access to Boneworks engine through a security game, so would it be hard for them to change it? Maybe they moved away from Monogon to get closer to Boneworks, and that thus letting them into the void. And lastly, at the end of bonelab, there's a box right behind you whenever you're getting into the taxi, labeled portable elevator. It's all broken into pieces, but we do see the name Hayes on it. Yep, that's the guy from Boneworks. It was semi helping Ford without knowing Ford did this. So either Lava Gang stole it, or Hayes is helping them, or Ford.